Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. Yo, welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Polkadot analysis video. Now, I was looking at many of the coins, just doing some preliminary analysis essentially, and I kind of just filtered out coins based on the highest volume. And for a change, Polkadot was actually one of the top volume coins on the 4-hour time frame, and that's that one time frame that we have been looking at, right? The 4-hour time frame. And why is that? Because essentially what we're trying to establish here is whether or not some of these altcoins are actually seeing a reversal at this current juncture. Now you can see the dashboard. We have bullish long signals across the board. Many of these coins, including Binance coin, by the way, which I covered yesterday, and this was before the breakout. Binance coin also broke out of that beautiful double bottom Adam and Eve like formation, and so did many of the other altcoins, DOT being one. So on today's agenda, we'll first be starting off with this beautiful Mango dashboard, and then we'll be getting on over to the charts. Cool beans, cool beans. So let's get in. So this is the 4-hour time frame. USDT gave us a bullish long trend change 2 days ago. Okay, now if you caught this trend change and you took a trade based on this trend change, you are up a good 19% already on your trade. Okay, a good 19% in a matter of 2 days. How about DOT BTC? And what do you know? DOT Bitcoin 2, guys. DOT BTC 2 has given us a bullish long trend change, which also came in 2 days ago. Alrighty, now if you caught a trade on this, you're up a good 14.21% on your trade. So I think that many of the altcoins, Bitcoin included actually, they're all beginning to look very interesting. However, I will say this, keep your eyes peeled on Bitcoin as well. One eye on Bitcoin always, especially in these sort of market conditions right now. Bitcoin is still currently living underneath its weekly 21 EMA, so that is something that we need to keep a close eye out on, right? We want to really find out whether or not Bitcoin is actually going to see a reversal here, or hell, do we see this bearish trend continue to the downside? And also just a quick sort of cursory sort of analysis on Bitcoin. We are currently up against resistance. Resistance comes in at 39,500. Okay, 39,500. So just a quick heads up on that. Depending on what Bitcoin really does there, that's really going to dictate what happens to the altcoins as well. Okay, so eyes peeled on Bitcoin. Now, getting on over to the charts, I think DOT is looking good on the 4-hour time frame. We got a bullish long trend change. How about the 12-hour time frame? Just very quickly. Oh, what do you know? Damn. DOT on the 12-hour time frame, guys, also flipped long. Now, this bullish long trend change actually came in 7 hours ago. And hell, if you took a trade on this, you are already up on your trade. If you took a trade on the USDT pairing, you're up a good 7.55%. And if you took a trade on the Bitcoin pairing, you're up a good 3.71%. Why is this important? It's because we're seeing that bullish trend that got set off 2 days ago on the 4-hour time frame now cascade on over to the 12-hour time frame. And what's that one thing that I have been mentioning about trends? They first start from your minor time frames, then on over to intermediate, and then on over to your major time frames. Right, so what's happening here is key. It's telling us that this bullish trend wants to continue. Okay, now to get a better view of this, let's get into the charts and see what DOT is actually up to. Now, today is a Thursday, but we did close that weekly candle a couple of days ago, right? Which was the Monday, was this candle right here. And I want you to notice how neat this chart is. I have 3 horizontals on my chart currently, and in fact, if you just go ahead and pull up my last DOT analysis, it's the same lines. Okay, plus a couple of other targets that I had to the upside. But these are the same lines, and the one region of support back then that turned into resistance was this region right here, which came in at $20.27. And I want you to notice what happened here. DOT essentially lost that region of support. We closed underneath only for the next week to take it back. And it was such a slight sort of, signal on that, right? Because we closed at what? We closed at $20.46 when the region of resistance came in at $20.27. So it was ever so slight, that close, but look at the implications on that. We closed slightly over only for this candle to move all the way up to the next region of resistance, which now comes in at $26.25. Okay, now as this weekly candle has yet to close, what's important to note is that price is currently hovering over this region of resistance. If we start closing over here, now I'm also going to be looking at the 2-day time frame as well as the daily time frame. If I start seeing multiple candle body closes over this region, I'm saying next region comes in at $33. Okay, that is going to be our next target on this chart. As far as the structure goes on the weekly time frame, let's go ahead and put on that Ichimoku cloud. Now, DOT is a relatively new coin, so you're not going to find too much on this. I'm also going to go ahead and pull up the 10 SMA. Okay. So as far as the EMAs and the MAs, they're only going to give us so much information because there's very, very little price action to play off of. However, in terms of just overall structure, okay, I want you to notice the highs as well as the lows, okay, on the weekly time frame. It's very, very important. I'm saying this. I believe that the bears actually took over as soon as we got this move to the downside, okay, because DOT lost that bullish structure. Alrighty, now we were sort of in no man's land even around this region right here. I think DOT may have very well been one of the front leaders in really telling the market that, hey, something different may be happening here. We're likely going to see distribution as opposed to accumulation in this zone because the bulls failed to put in that structure ever since Feb, right? We did not see those series of higher lows and higher highs. In fact, what it did instead was put in a very, very neat, what does this look like, guys? A bearish head and shoulders pattern which broke to the downside. But as the current chart is unfolding, we can see that price is actually making its way all the way back up to that breakdown point. Now the breakdown point, when I use the term breakdown point, I want you guys to know that I'm essentially talking about the neckline of the pattern that it broke down from. Okay, now in this case, we broke down from this beautiful bearish head and shoulders pattern. I want you to notice how price is currently hovering over that breakdown point. As soon as I start seeing candle body closes over the breakdown point, I'm saying that the pattern has now been negated. I will not be looking for that measured move to be met. Okay, this pattern has been negated. However, wait on confirmation, wait on those candle body closes, because we could have something like this when we close over a major region of resistance only for us to see a major sell-off right after. Okay, so waiting on that confirmation is going to be key. Now, as far as that structure is concerned, in order for DOT to take back the bullish structure, I will be looking for a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, please note that the next major region of resistance comes in at $33.56. We start taking that out to the upside, then here we go all the way back up to the highs at $45. Okay, how about DOT on the daily time frame? Let's get on over to that, switch on our Ichimoku cloud, because there was a pattern that's sort of playing out on multiple charts right now, and it is this. It's like this beautiful, beautiful Adam and Eve-like formation, wherein the neckline actually comes in right around here. Okay, this comes in at $24.87, and as you can see, we got a clear breakout from that region, and right now price has not only broken out of that region, we have taken out that major region of resistance that comes in at $26.25, which is weekly resistance, as well as we're currently hovering over that 21 EMA. I start seeing candle body closes over the 21 EMA, I'm saying further up we go. Okay, first stop going to be $31.70. No, please notice that we have the Kijun as well as the Tenkin, which has historic significance, as well as the next region coming in at $33.46. I will be giving more precedent to $33.46 because of the fact that it is a weekly level. I have extrapolated these levels from the higher time frames. Okay, price action on the higher time frame. So I will be giving more importance to $33.65. That is going to be the next major region of contention. But now let's go ahead and check out whether or not we're seeing confluence here anywhere, right? Because we do have a pattern at play. So question is, where does this pattern really take us up to, and what do you know? Right, so we'll take it here on the break, and this will take us up closer to $33.65. So we're seeing confluence on that level. I think that's going to be the next major region of contention as soon as we start taking out that 21 EMA. Okay, but watch out for how price really reacts off of that region, because ultimately what we're looking for in order to anticipate whether or not the bulls are actually taking over is the higher highs and the higher lows. We want to see that structure being set in again. As far as the dashboard is concerned, we saw that the 4-hour trend got set off, which then cascaded on over to the 12-hour. right? Now we want to see that trend being established on the higher time frames like the daily as well as the weekly time frame. As soon as we get that, I'm saying that the bulls are likely going to start taking over from here. So keep your eyes peeled on the chart. I feel like there are going to be a lot of opportunities just by playing the ranges, okay? So play the ranges to the upside, as well as there are going to be opportunities to the downside if we start seeing rejections. Now, this is what DOT is doing on the daily. Let's quickly get on over to the 4-hour time frame because we know that there's a trend being established on the 4-hour time frame, right? And we saw it right here where we put in a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And now we put in a series of higher highs. In fact, as soon as price took it out right here, which was this candle that just closed when a couple of hours ago, this was the major takeout of the highs. We're trying to establish for real that 4-hour uptrend. Okay, we could see price actually come back down to $26.25 in the interim, giving us a test of the breakdown point. But so far, the bulls have control of the 4-hour, okay, because of that overarching structure. At the very least, guys, $33.65 is going to be the next major region of contention. All right, for as long as we're maintaining that uptrend, look for the uptrend. All right, it's always going to be the structure ultimately that tips you off on whether or not something is going to see continuation, on whether or not the bulls or the bears are in control. So now that is the upside of this beautiful play. However, the downside would be if price starts breaking back below the breakdown point, which comes in at $26.25, I'm saying that that pattern has been negated. Okay, at which point I will be looking for USDT to put in another higher low, something similar to what we saw here. Alrighty, so it's going to be very, very simple. Keep your eyes peeled on the ranges because the ranges are going to give people a lot of very ripe opportunities. Also, I give you these points of support and resistance so that they may add to your regions of reference if you're playing USDT. You get to really understand, okay, what are the critical zones that I can actually build a trade off of? Right, so now I particularly use these regions of support and resistance as my points of reference in really building those trade setups because I know that, okay, fine, if this has a lot of historic significance, for example, $26.25, I know that that's a very, very safe region for me to build my trade off of. Because say I take a bullish trade on that region, with a hypothesis of price actually moving to the upside, and instead, price breaks to the downside. Okay, I'm wrong on that trade. I know that I've been negated very, very fast. Not just that, because it's such a critical region, right? More often than not, you see price actually come back up to test that region of support then now turned into resistance, giving me a very, very safe spot to exit my trade. And hell, oftentimes I'm able to exit in a slight profit. And that's why I give you guys these points of support and resistance. That way you may too have some reference points on your chart. Now, this is USDT on the 4-hour time frame. I think it's looking strong here. I'm saying that the bulls are in control of the 4-hour at the very least, okay? I'll be expecting price to move all the way up to $33.65 as soon as I start seeing additional candle body closes over $26.25, which is our current breakdown point. Okay, if we start seeing a rejection, we might start seeing a deeper pullback, perhaps back into the 21 EMA. Now, this is all I have for you. Let me know what your thoughts are on this chart. And with this, guys, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.